Hare Krishna. Please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. Never miss any updates.
हरे कृष्ण नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So welcome to you all for this session on chapter 13 of Srimad Bhagavat Gita. The title, Nature, the Enjoyer and Conscious. The last 6 chapters, Krishna had explained about Bhakti Yoga, the prominence of devotional service, the practical aspects involved in engaging in Bhakti. To understand Bhakti and to engage in devotional service, there are certain more information, knowledge, which is very much required. So the knowledge aspect is explained in this last 6 chapters. What does this knowledge comprise of? This knowledge comprises of the Lord, living entity, material body. How the jiva is placed in this body, how the material body responds to jiva's desires, the role of super soul or Paramatma in the body. If one has to be liberated, what are the things he has to be conscious of? The technical details involved of jiva's entanglement with this body and the process of jiva's liberation from this body. So with this so many details being communicated here, so we start from this chapter 13, which explains to us the technical details of this composition of this body, its owner, and various other details as presented by Arjuna to Krishna. So this chapter starts with Arjuna's questions to Krishna, Arjuna's inquiry. He says, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetrajnam Evacha Etad Veditum Ichchami Jnanam Jnayam Cha Keshava. Arjuna is requesting Lord Krishna. He wanted to know Etad Veditum Ichchami. I wish to know about the 6 subjects. Purusha, what is Purusha? What is Prakriti? What is Kshetra? What is Kshetrajna? What is Jnana? What is Jnaya? Prakriti, nature. Purusha, the enjoyer. Kshetra, the field of activities. Kshetrajna, the knower of the field. Jnana, knowledge. Jnaya, the object of knowledge. These are technically the 6 specific questions put forward by Arjuna. In response to these questions, Krishna starts answering. He says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetram Iti Abhidiyate. This Sharira is considered to be like a land which is meant for cultivation. Kshetra. Etadyo Vetitam Prahu Kshetrajna Iti Tadvidaha. The person who identifies the Kshetra as his own, he is considered to be the Kshetrajna. So, the land and the farmer is the owner of that land. That is considered as Kshetra, Kshetrajna. So sometimes the owner doesn't cultivate the land. He asks somebody else, or he leases out that land to somebody else to cultivate that land. So now Krishna starts explaining there is a superior owner. The jiva is the secondary owner. The primary owner of these material elements is Lord Krishna as Paramatma, he says. Kshetrajnam chapimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanam yatta jnanam matam mama. You should understand that I am also the knower of all bodies. Krishna is not kshetrajna for not only for one body, he is kshetrajna for all bodies. And to understand this body and its owner is called knowledge, jnana. And this is my opinion, Krishna's opinion. Kshetrajnam cha apimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Kshetrajna is for sarva kshetraha. Kshetrajnam cha apimam. I am that kshetrajna who is aware of all bodies. Paramatma, yes, one Paramatma is staying in every Jiva. So Krishna is aware of all living entities, all their understanding, all capacities. Kshetra, Kshetrajnayor Jnanam, the knowledge about this Kshetra and the owner of the field. Yattak Jnanam Matamama is considered as knowledge according to my opinion. This is what Krishna is saying, according to his opinion. Since Arjuna had put forward certain questions, now Krishna is saying, to elaborate these 6 questions, I will add some more details to that. I will answer you some more additional questions. He says, Tak Kshetram cha yadrikcha yad vikari yataschayat sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shrunu. I am going to explain some more questions. What this Kshetra is, what does it compose of, when it is produced, who the owner is, what the reactions are, like that. Specifically he says, he is going to explain about the description of this field of activity, how it is constituted, what its changes are, when it is produced, who that knower or field of activities is, and what his influences are. So technically he is adding another 5 questions to the earlier 6 questions. Like this body, when is this body produced? This body undergoes through various changes. It takes in a seed form, grows, child, man, middle age, old age, starts dwindling, somewhere byproducts will come, and at last it will vanishes. This is called Shadvikara, the 6th transformation of this body. Any vastu you take in this world, it goes through this Shadvikara. Like a fruit, it will be first as a flower. Flower will start coming up to fruit. That fruit in some small size, it goes to the brick size. When it is fully ripened, it is having seeds, which it can again reproduce a tree. But once this fully ripened fruit, when it starts ripening, it starts rotting. After ripening, the next stage is rotting. After rotting, the next stage is vanishing. Completely. So like that, a 6-stage Shadvikara process, everything goes through, including this body. So Krishna is saying he is going to explain all these details. And Krishna says a reference, he is talking of a reference. He says, Rushubir Bahuda Gitam Chendobir Vividah Pratak Brahma Sutra Padaishchaiva Hetu Madbir Vinishchitaihi. Whatever question you have put forward about these 6 subjects, this was elaborately discussed by various sages in various writings and various understandings, especially in Vedanta Sutra. All these technical details were presented with logic and argument. So Krishna is referring to Vedanta Sutra, the highest information knowledge. So after explaining about Vedanta Sutra, after giving reference to Vedanta Sutra, Krishna is saying already it is elaborately described there. I am just going to briefly explain to you these questions right now. Elaboration elsewhere has happened. I'll just give you an overview or outline of the subject. Then he says this body, what this body is composed of? This body composed of 24 elements. What the 24 elements are? Krishna says, Mahabhutani ahankaro buddhir avyaktamevacha indriyani dasaikam cha panchachendriya gochara. There are 24 elements which constitute this body. Mahabhutani, 5 major elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. Then there are 3 subtle elements: mind, intelligence and ego, 8 altogether. There are 5 knowledge acquiring senses: eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. There are 5 working senses: voice, hands, legs, anus and genitals. There are 5 sense objects: smell, taste, touch, sound and warmth. And there is one source of all these elements known as Mahatattva or unmanifest. So this body, any body in this material world comprises of these 24 elements. The Kshetra comprises of 24 elements. So according to this Kshetra and according to the subtle body, according with its gross body and subtle body, some more reactions keep coming. It says, Ichcha dvesha sukham dukkham sangatas chetana drutihi etak kshetram samasena sarvikaram udahrutam. Then there is desire, hatred, happiness, distress, aggregate, life symptoms and convictions. All these are considered to be the field of activities and its interactions. When this body interacts with various other elements and various other jivas, he may experience happiness or he may experience distress out of that interaction, or he may desire, he may experience hatred, The life symptoms, convictions, his commitment, determination, all these things were exhibited when he interacts with various other elements. Now, Krishna explains after this subject, he quotes, there are the items of knowledge. From verse number 8 to verse number 12, Krishna says there are 20 items of knowledge. He starts quoting these verses, Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Kshantirarjavam, Acharya Upasanam Saucham, Stairyam, Atma Vinigraha, Indriyardeshu Vairagyam, Anahankara Evacha, Janma Mrityu Jaravyadi, Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. Asakti Ranaviswangaha, Putradara Grihadishu, Nityam cha Sabachittatvam, Ishtanishtopapatyishu, Maicha Ananya Yogena, Bhaktir Avyabhicharini, Vivikta Desha Sevitvam, Aratir Jana Samshadi, Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam, Tattva Jnanartha Darshanam, Etat Jnanam Iti Proktam, Ajnanam Yat Yato Anyada. And Krishna elaborated 20 items of knowledge. He says, Etat Jnanam Iti Proktam. Whatever I have explained is these 20 items of knowledge is considered to be treated to be as knowledge. Ajnanam Yat Yato Anyada. Whatever is not comprising of these 20 items is treated as ignorance. So what are these 20 items? First is Amanitvam. Amanitvam is considered as humility in life. So humility means not to be anxious to have satisfaction of being honored by others. Mana means respect. Amana means not expecting any respect. Amanitvam, humble in life. Next we have Amanitvam, Adambitvam. Damba means pride. Damba. Adambitvam means pridelessness. Not to be anxious to be famous for one's religion or anything. We should not do our endeavors to become famous. If naturally if it comes, let us accept it. We should not artificially endeavor for becoming famous in this world. Then ahimsa, non-violence. To put others into distress is considered as violence. So non-violence means not to put others into distress. And to distribute this real knowledge about spirit soul, the Supreme Lord is, if you stop, if you are not distributing this knowledge, that is also considered to be as violence. Because you are restricting the people from getting to the information. Then there is titikshva, tolerance. So one should be able to tolerate honor and dishonor, heat and cold, all these various dualities in this world. Then there is simplicity. We should be straightforward in our communication. Then there is something called approaching a bona fide spiritual master. That is Acharya Upasanam. This item is very much important for one to advance in spiritual life. He has to approach a bona fide spiritual master, engage in his service and inquire from him. Then there is something called cleanliness. Suchi. Cleanliness includes external cleanliness and internal cleanliness. By taking bath, external cleanliness can be maintained. And by chanting the holy name of the Lord, internal cleanliness can be maintained. Then there is something called steadiness. These, like we should have the determination to make progress in the spiritual life. Steadiness. We should be steady in the path. Then there is something called self-control. Anything that is unfavorable towards progress in spiritual life, one should be able to reject them. One should not get carried away by allurements. That's why it is called self-control. Then there is something called renunciation of the objects of sense gratification. Like the sharira, the senses demand, but we should not cater to unnecessary demands. We should engage only to that activity which will keep this body fit to engage in bhakti. All this is possible by systematic regulation. By chanting the holy name and by eating prasadam, one becomes regulated in spiritual life. Then absence of false ego, next quality. Because in this world, everybody starts thinking I, me, mine. These are the symptoms of false ego. And we should say, I am not the boss, I am just a servant. I am servant of Krishna. This is the real ego. This is our natural position. And next one, Janma Mrityu Jaravyadi Dukkha Dosha Anudarshana. One should perceive the evil of birth, death, old age and disease. Reality of life. Everybody takes birth, everybody dies, everybody goes through old age and everybody becomes deceased at any part of life. So these four things one has to perceive as a real danger in this life. One should try to quit this cycle of birth and death. That's why. Then there should be detachment. Detachment means one should be ready to sacrifice everything for the service of Krishna. Then non-attachment to family. Because affection is natural, nobody is saying no, but these relationships are temporary. So we should not be too much engrossed in this bodily relationship. We do everything as a matter of duty. As a husband, we maintain the wife. As a father, we maintain the children. As a son, we maintain the parents. All these technical details we do. But primary attachment and secondary attachment. Because everything in this world, in the bodily relationship is temporary. Everything is going to be finished. So we have to understand how much to get attached to. Then even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events. This life is like we suddenly experience happy, and in the next moment we experience distress. So we should be even-mindedness to all situations, favorable and unfavorable. And we should be having Maicha Ananya Yogena Bhaktir Avyabhicharani. One should have that unalloyed devotion service, a pure bhakti towards the Lord. Then to engage in spirituality, Vivikta Desha Sevitvam means we should engage to solitary places. In group, we cannot execute the spiritual life. We should engage in a solitary place, secluded place, purified place. Then Aratir Jana Samshadi, Ratihi towards Jana Samshadi, to group, to engage in social mediums, all these things and all. We should be detached from this social concept of life. Then Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam, to accept the importance of self-realization. We should not waste our time in unnecessary things. We should engage that time towards spirituality, advancement in spirituality. Tattva Jnanartha Darshanam. This is the last point. Krishna is saying philosophical search for the absolute truth. To try to understand God, Krishna specifically, to his qualities, to his attributes, to his pastimes, with his devotees. All these things, technical details, we should try to understand with philosophical basis, based on Shastra, not on mental speculation. So these 20 items of knowledge, Krishna is saying, comprise the aspect called Jnana. Anything not mentioned is this 20 is simply treated as ignorance, Ajnana. So now, after explaining this Jnana concept, now Krishna starts explaining about Jnaya, the object of knowledge. He says, Jnayam yattat pravakshami yajnatva amrutam asnute anadimat param brahma nasattan nasaduchyate. Krishna is saying, I am going to explain to you that object of knowledge called Jnaya, by knowing which one experiences the liberation, Amrutam. Anadimat, which is having, Adi means beginning, Anadi means which is beginningless. And Param Brahma, and it is, Lord is Param to that substance. It is that spirit soul which is Brahman in nature, which is Sat Asat, Nasattan Nasaduchyate, which is the beyond the effect of, it lies beyond the cause and effect of this world. That spirit soul which is there, as spirit is eternal in nature. Body is temporary, it will take birth and it will be vanished. But spirit soul is eternal in nature. Spirit has no birth, no death. To understand that spirit soul, its composition, its quality is considered to be as Jnaya, the object of knowledge. So when we are understanding spirit soul, there is one more aspect we have to understand about super soul. So both of them are there as entities in the as in the heart. Both Atma and Paramatma are lying in the heart. So some of the qualities Krishna explains about Paramatma, some of the qualities he explains about Atma. At the end we will understand in seclusion what are the qualities perspective to Paramatma and what are the qualities in perspective to Atma. He says, Sarvatah Panipadam Tat Sarvatokshi Kshiromukam Sarvatah Shrutimalloke Sarvam Avritya Tishtati. Sarvatah Panipadam Tat. Everywhere are his hands and legs, because every jiva is responding to Paramatma. So all the shariras everywhere are Paramatma's hands and legs. Sarvatah Kshiromukam. Everywhere are his faces, eyes, head, everywhere. Sarvatah Shrutimalloke. He hears everything. Sarvam Avritya Tishtati. That's why he is spread everywhere as Paramatma. He exists. Then he also said, Sarvendriya Gunabhasham, Sarvendriya Vivarjitam, Asaktam Sarva Brukchaiva, Nirgunam Gunabhoktracha. Sarva Indriya Guna Abhasam. He is the source of all the senses. Yet he is without servants. Sarva Indriya Vivarjitam. He is the source of all senses. Sarva Indriya Guna Abhasam. But he is without senses. Sarva Indriya Vivarjitam. Asaktam Sarva Brukchaiva. He is the maintainer of all living entities. Sarva Brut, maintainer. But he is unattached. Asaktaha. Nirgunam. He is beyond the modes. And he is Guna Bhoktraja. He is the master of the modes of nature. Then it is also says, Further, Bahirantascha Bhutanam Acharam Charamevacha Sukshmatva Tadavijnayam Durastam Cha Antike Tatat. This Paramatma is there internally and externally also. Bahir Antaha Bhutanam, for all living entities, he is there inside and he is there outside also. Acharam Charamevacha, not only for moving entities, he is there for non-moving entities also. Jada Tira. Sukshmatva tad avijnayam. He is beyond the power of material senses to see. Sukshma, very minute, beyond our eyes cannot perceive. Sukshmatva tad avijnayam. To understand him, it is difficult by our senses. Durastam, he is very far. Cha antike chatam, and he is very near also. He is very far situated in spiritual world and he is very near situated in my heart. Then it also says, Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam yavacha sthitam bhuta bhartarta tajnayam grashishnu prabhavishnu cha. So we may see Paramatma in everyone's heart, we may think that Paramatma is divided. No, he is that one Paramatma is able to coordinate with all living entities. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam yavacha sthitam. Vivaha means division. Avibhaktam, he is not divided. Although he appears to be divided, he is actually not divided. He is that one personality. Bhuta Bhartar, he is the maintainer of all living entities. Grashishnu Prabhavishnu cha, it is he who devours and he develops all. Because of him, this body is taking into shape, and because of him, this body is getting finished, annihilated. Because of because this body is created, and because of him, this body is annihilated. When Paramatma sanctions, a jiva comes to this world. He takes a gross body, and when Paramatma withdraws, the jiva leaves his body and this body becomes decomposed. Then he says, Jyotisham api tad jyotis tamasaha paramuchyate jnanam jneyam jnanagamyam hridi sarvasya vishchitam. In all lighting luminary things, I am the source of light. Jyotisham api tad jyoti, I am that light in sun, moon, everything and all. Because by nature this world is darkness, tamaha. And I am param uchyate, I am beyond this tamaha. And he is jnanam jneyam jnanagamyam. He is the knowledge, he is the object of knowledge, and he is the goal of knowledge. Jnana jneya jnanagamyam. And where does he say? Hridi sarvasya vishchitam. He stays in the heart of every living entity. That is his specific position. Now Krishna concludes by saying, Iti kshetram tata jnanam jneyam choktum samasataha madbhakta etad vijnaya madbhavayo upapadyate. Only my devotees who are engaged in devotional service can understand these intricate details about this knowledge and object of knowledge, which comprises of this body, the field of activities, jnana, kshetra, jnana, jneya. These have been summarily been described by Lord Krishna, and only devotees of Lord Krishna can understand this thoroughly. By understanding them thoroughly, madbhavaya upapadyate. They attain the divine nature of the Supreme Lord. We go to that spiritual world. So until now, what and all Krishna had explained about these qualities, we will try to understand in summary. Krishna says, the characteristics of super soul. What are the characteristics of super soul? Super soul as the object of knowledge, jnaya, what was till now explained as he is all pervading. He is the original source of all senses, yet he is without senses. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living entities. 3. He is transcendental to these material modes of nature, although he is the master of the modes. 4. He is inside and outside of all living entities. He is reconciling everything. 5. And he is beyond the subtle and subtle and beyond the perception of material senses. 6. Although he appears to be divided, he is undivided. He is 7. Although he is the maintainer of all living entities, he develops and devours all. He is the source of all knowledge and enlightenment, and he is situated in one's heart. These 10 qualities are referred to the qualities of super soul, Paramatma. Then the item super soul as the knower of this field, he says, I am the knower of all bodies, not only one body, I am situated in everyone as super soul, so I know everything about all jivas. He is the supreme proprietor and controller of all living entities and all material elements in this world. He is infallible and always superior to the spirit soul. Atma, Paramatma. Parama means superior. Brahman, Parabrahman. Like that, he is superior in quality for everything, whatever we say. Then super soul, he is the actual enjoyer, he is the transcendental enjoyer, he is the overseer and permitter, and he is the maintainer and real friend, which will come in the next few verses. So now after explaining about this Jnaya, now Krishna starts relating about Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Purusha, Prakriti, Kshetra, Kshetrajna once again. He says, Prakritim Purusham Cheva, Vidhi Anadi Vibhavapi, Vikaramsha Gunam Cheva, Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. This material nature and Jiva to be considered as Anadi, beginningless. Because when this material nature is created, nobody knows. When this Jiva is created, nobody knows. This interaction between Jiva and Prakriti is happening from time immemorial. Their transformations and modes of matter are products of material nature. This body, the variations, what this body is going through, these are all because of material nature. And further he says, Karya Karana Kartrutve Hetuhu Prakritiruchyate Purushaha Sukadukkanam Bhoktrutve Heturuchyate. Nature is said to be the cause of all material activities and effects, whereas living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in this world. So Jiva, who is there in this body, he is expressing his desires through this body. When these desires are being exhibited, so when he comes in contact with various other living entities, either he may experience happiness or distress in the process, in this endeavor. Like I want to pick up a stone. So when I go and lift that stone, this material body is handling one more material element called stone. But the stone is in the hot sun. Because of that hot sun, the stone became very hot. When I lifted that stone, my hand started burning. So material nature is facilitating the activity, but the reactions are experienced by Jiva in his endeavor. So that is being communicated. So further it says, Purusha Prakritistohi Bhunkte Prakritijan Ganan Karanam Guna Sangasya Tadasad Yoni Janmasu. All living entities, Purusha Prakritistohi, the living entity in matter, thus follows his ways of life. He enjoys these three modes of nature. Jiva is enjoying the Sharira according to his karma. All this is due to his association with this material nature. Thus he meets with good and evil among various species of life. If I become very much attached to such and such particular substance, because of that attachment, our next life is dependent upon. If I very much become attached to a cat or a dog, next life I may become that cat or a dog. That is being communicated here. Material nature, if we become very much attached to these material elements, material forms, we exhibit them in the next life based on our karma. So how much are we interacting with this matter? How much are we picking up this information? How much are we consciously thinking of that we start acting, behaving like that? So what we think manasa, it comes in our words vacha, and what we seek vacha will come into our words action, karmana. Manasa, vacha, karmana, that's why. That's why it is recommended if you have to be in devotional service, bhakti. In mind we should think of Krishna, in tongue we should chant the holy name, then our activities will be towards the Lord. That is what bhakti is proper. Then what is the role of Paramatma? He is also a Kshetrajna, we said. Like there is an owner, there is a tenant. Like we are all the tenants in this house, in this body. The primary owner is Krishna, Paramatma. We are the secondary owners. We are a tenant in this house. So what is the role of this primary owner? He says, Upadrusta Anumantacha. I am the witnesser and I am the sanctioner. Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaraha. I am the maintainer, I am the master and I am the enjoyer. Paramatmeti Chapi Yuktaha, and my name is known as Paramatma. Dehe Asmin, I stay in this body, I am a Parah Purushaha. I am a transcendental personality even though I am staying within this body. So with these qualities Krishna is saying, I am the superior person. All your desires are sanctioned by me. Without my sanction, you cannot do anything in this Sharira. So the concept of three doers Krishna is explaining about. The primary doer is Jiva. When he desires, this body facilitates. Like for example, I am thinking, let me keep this book like this. So when I thought this book, my hands move automatically, my brain supports the information what to do, and automatically my hands pick up and place the book there. For all these things to happen, the Paramatma's signal is very much required. Because spirit is superior in nature and this Sharira is dull in nature. How come superior element is able to handle this inferior material body, that handling, that communication between these two interface is Paramatma. So as soon as the Jiva desires, Paramatma sanctions according to the capacity of the Jiva, and material nature facilitates. That's why these three doer concept. Jiva desires, Paramatma sanctions, material nature executes. After explaining the interaction, then Krishna is saying, Ye evam vetti purusham prakritim cha gunai saha sarvata vartamanopi nasa bhuyobi jayate. So one who is able to understand this philosophy concerning this matter, Jiva, and their interaction is sure to attain liberation. So how Jiva is getting entrapped in this body, if one can understand the technical details, one becomes liberated from this body. He will not take birth here again regardless of his present position. So to become liberated, there are various philosophical paths, various practical paths Krishna had recommended earlier in Bhagavat Gita. So Krishna says, all that references he says, Dhyanen Atmani Pashyanti, Kechid Atmanam Atmana, Anye Sankhena Yogena, Karma Yogena Chapare. Some people, they try to understand about the spirit soul by meditation. Some people by analysis of this world through Sankhya philosophy, and others by engaging without fruitive desire, they try to understand the soul and super soul. So some people are following Karma Yoga, some people are following Sankhya Yoga, and some people are following Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga to understand the super soul. So very few people are in this process. There are some people who do not know any of these technical details. So Krishna is saying about them, Anyetu evam ajanantaha. Janantaha means to know. There are many others who do not know any of this technical process. Anyetu evam ajanantaha. Shrutva anyebhya upasate. They hear from superiors and they engage in bhakti, upasate. Upasana means engaging in bhakti, devotional service. Shrutva anyebhya upasate. Te api cha atitaranti eva. These people can easily cross over mrutyum shruti parayanaha. Because of their oral reception tendency to hear from the authorities, these people can easily cross over this bodily concept of life and become liberated from this world just by hearing from authorities. Shruti parayanaha. By giving oral reception, by giving commitment to these instructions, one becomes liberated from this world. We need not go through dhyana, sankhya, karma, no need. Just by being sincerely receptive to the instructions from the superior devotees, one becomes liberated in this world. So now Krishna starts giving the final part of this chapter by concluding all the different topics, whatever he has mentioned. He says, Yavat sanjayate kinchit sattvam stavara jangamam kshetra kshetrajna samyoga tadviddi bharatashram. Everything in this world, every jiva, every matter is comprises of two things. There is kshetra and there is kshetrajna. Whatever you see in existence, both moving and non-moving, is only the combination of field of activities and the knower of the field. There is a kshetra and the kshetrajna in all moving and non-moving entities. So who will be able to perceive these technical details? Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram vinashyanta vinashyantam sapashyati sapashyati apashyati yah pashyati sapashyati. One who has the divine vision, who can pursue things clearly, are those who are able to see that super soul accompanying all living entities in all categories of bodies. Not that only in human form we have this super soul, no. Even in animal form, the super soul is there. The super soul is accompanying all jivas in all certain forms. But who understands the soul and the super soul can never be destroyed? Vinashyanta avinashyantam. Yah pashyati sapashyati. He is the actual seer. So when we are engaged in this consciousness, we should not degrade ourselves by speculation about the position of these various entities. That's what Krishna is saying. Samam pashyam hi sarvatra samavastitam ishwaram. Nahinasti atmanatmanam tato yati param gatim. So one who is able to see the super soul in every living entity and he is equal everywhere, does not degrade himself by his mind. Mind will speculate, mental speculation, it imagines. Because of its imagination, one may think this Atma and Paramatma are one. So then one falls down from his position. So one who is able to discriminate between Atma, Paramatma and their superior position, Atma is superior to this body and Paramatma is superior to both the body and Atma. One is able to perceive these technical details, one becomes tato yati param gatim, one becomes qualified to enter into the spiritual world. And he says, Prakriti evacha karmani Kriyamanani sarvashaha yah pashyati tatatmanam akartaram sapashyati. So all the activities within this body are executed by this material nature. And the self does nothing, just he is actually seeing. He is actually seeing. Atma is there in the Sharira. This Atma has given this power of attorney to mind, intelligence, and they execute according to the power of attorney. The mind and intelligence are driving the Sharira. And Atma is like an observer, static observer. He is just left everything for the Sharira to be done. So then further Krishna says, Yata bhuta pratak bhavam ekastam anupashyati tata evacha vistaram brahma sampadyate tata. When a sensible man ceases to see different identities which are due to different material bodies, he attains the Brahman conception. Thus he sees that beings are expanded everywhere. He does not grossly discriminate on the bodily concept of life. He sees everybody as a spirit soul, and everybody according to their karma they are achieving different Sharira only. So thus he is able to see that jivas are expanded everywhere, or the forms might be different according to their karma. So this information has been explained in the earlier chapters. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini. A Brahmana is a person who is able to see all living entities equally as spirit soul, not on the gross material body. The same point again is Krishna is reinstating here. So when one rises to this Brahman conception, liberated conception, how does he perceive? Anaditva nirgunatva paramatmayam avyayaha sharirastopi kaunteya nakaroti nalipyate. One who is having this vision of eternity can see the soul is transcendental. It is eternal. It is beyond the modes of nature. Even though he is in contact with this material body, the soul does not anything nor is entangled. So when he is in that liberated position, he is able to see all the activities are generally carried on by this material body. Soul does not do anything. In that liberated state, he is able to perceive the things as they are. So for that Krishna explains how this body, how the soul is present in this body. With the two examples he says, Yata sarvagatam sokshmad akasham nopalipyate sarvatra avatistato dehe tatatma nopalipyate. As the air is spread everywhere, entire this universe. Up to certain level, everywhere, anywhere you go, this air is spread, but it is not at one location, it keeps moving. It is spread and it is not localized again. Similarly, the Atma, even though it is present in the Sharira, it is perceived as consciousness in this entire body. When we are walking, a small pinprick can easily sensitize us, something has pricked me. But my Atma is here, but its presence is felt as consciousness. Just as fire is at one place, its symptoms are light and smoke. Similarly, the Atma symptoms in this bodies are consciousness. Then further it says, Yata prakashyati ekaha krishnam lokam imam ravihi. Just as one sun illuminates this entire universe. Kshetram kshetri tata krishnam prakashyati bharata. Similarly, one soul, entirely this body is propagating. As one sun is illuminating the entire universe, one jiva is illuminating this entire body. With analogy, these two analogies, Krishna is explaining about the presence of jiva within this body. And finally, the last verse of this chapter, Krishna says, Kshetra kshetrajnayor evam antaram jnana chakshusha bhuta prakriti moksham cha ye vidur yanti te param. This kshetra kshetrajnayor evam antaraha. The difference between this kshetra and kshetrajna, the practical details between the owner of the kshetra, the field of activities, and the owner, and can understand bhuta jnana chakshusha with their knowledge, can understand bhuta prakriti moksham cha. He can understand the process of liberation from this bondage. Ye vidur yantite param. He attains that supreme goal. How the jiva is entrapped in this body, how this body acts, responds, how Paramatma decides about various details in this body, how jiva desires, how material nature facilitates, how we enjoy or suffer with this body because of our desires. All these details one is able to understand technically. With that knowledge, one becomes liberated from this body and achieves that spiritual world. So this is the summary of this chapter as explained by Lord Krishna and as guided for us by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Prabhupada writes in the last statement of this chapter, he says, this knowledge have to be understood in association with a spiritual master, because this is the basis for us for developing detachment from this world. If one can understand this chapter, Prabhupada says you can understand the entire Bhagavad Gita. So, with this information, so I take leave of you. So, thank you very much for being with us in trying to understand this Bhagavad Gita series. We will try to update you with more information in the further chapter. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.